Heather, hello there. Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another classic soccer tournament. We are doing the World Cup runners-up, KO Trny. Every runner-up in history is in this thing. The 1930 Argentines, the 34 Czechs, the 38 French, the 50 Brazilians, the 54 Hungarians, the 58 Swedes, the 62 Czechs, the 66 West Germans, 70 Italy, 74 Holland, 78 Holland, 82 Germany, 86 Germany, 90 Argentina, 94 Italy, 98 Brazil, 2002 Germany, 2006 France, 2010 Holland, 2014 Argentina, 2018 Croatia, and 2022 France. Make this thing, and just like last time, there will be 6 preliminary round matches. There'll be 10 runner-up teams that will go on to the Sweet 16, and then there'll be 12 divided in 2. All that. So here we go. The preliminary draw. First team is the 1938 French, who lost to the Italians, who went back-to-back. They'll face the 1982 West Germans that lost to Italy in the final. Of course, Germany getting to the final was huge because of Harald Schumacher, the goalie's malicious injury on the French substitution Patrick Baduston. But Italy got their win. Next up, we have the 1986 West Germans, who went to the final against Maradona and the Argentines. Of course, Maradona helped the team win the quarters against England in the Hand of God game. But they actually almost blew a 2-0 lead, but Brown helped them win. They faced the 1954 Hungarians, the Magical Magyars, who were heavily pegged to win the 1954 tournament because of how they destroyed England in a couple of exhibition games. But Hungary blew a 2-0 lead in that game, and the West Germans went on to win. Next up is the Dutch from 1974. Total football, as they called it. They were looking good, but they fell flat to the host Germans in the final, even though that the Dutch did score the first goal of that game. Finals. They'll take on the 1994 Italians. Roberto Baggio. Everyone knows about his penalty miss that helped Brazil win the 94 World Cup. Next is the 1990 Argentines. They'll face off. There, Argentina was looking to go back-to-back with the titles. Maradona was still around. But West Germany scored on a late penalty by Andres Brema, and they won the World Cup. They'll face the 1970 Italians, who had to get to the finals in the first place in one of the greatest World Cup games of all time against West Germany. That ended up being 4-3 in extra time. Now, there was no golden goal rule. They played 2 full periods of, they played 30 minutes of extra time. Most goals won, and Italy won that battle. Italy then lost to Brazil with that team goal thing. Next up, we got the 1962 Czechs, who lost to Brazil for the 1962 crown. Brazil was playing without Pele, who was hurt, but Garrincha was there. They face off against the 06 French, who got to the final thanks to Zidane, who helped them beat Portugal in the semi-final. But then Zidane scored a penalty, Materazzi scored, and then strangely enough, Zidane and Materazzi met in the extra time, and Zidane headbutted Materazzi. Although Materazzi did say something bad about Zidane. Finally, we have the 1966 West Germans, who went to the final and looked good. Well, they were facing England. They scored the first goal against England. They actually had to tie it in the last few stages of regulation. And then in overtime, England won thanks to Jeff Hurst's goal that did not cross the line. And this is coming from an England fan. And finally, we have the 1950 Brazilians, who were primed to win the World Cup in a round-robin format, in the final round-robin format. All they needed was a tie against Uruguay. And they were winning, but then they lost it. So those are your 6 matchups. We're going to autoplay the week. Well, that's the first leg. And only one game has massive implications. The 06 French against the 62 Czechs, 4-0. So we'll see how they do. Oh, the Czechs really good. End of the first half. No score. The Czechs can't really do anything. And let's go to the end of the match. No score. France had no incentive at all. They got a couple yellow cards. Turum and Maluda got yellow carded. Where are you have Trezeguet on the bench and Dorashu? The Sharks don't usually use a lot of players. It's the stats. Oh, I guess the stats. So their shots on target were 4-3 for the Chaps. 4-0. Every other game is like close. The 66 West Germans shockingly lead the 50 Brazilians 1-0. Let's go to that. Yellow versus white. We will go to the end of the first half. And it's 2-1 for West Germany. This is a huge upset. I call it an upset. Let's go to the final 10 minutes. 4-3. What a game. Beckenbauer. Let's take a shot. Beckenbauer puts it in. Goal! Beckenbauer. Now it's over. 5-3. What a game. It was 5-4. West Germany managed to win, but man, what a game. Beckenbauer with a hat trick. Dude was a defender, was a sweeper, a defender slash midfielder. Put up a hat trick, 66-5-81. Emmerich and Sealer also scored. Brazil, Adamir had a hat trick, and Bauer scored. But the worst part about everything was that, well, West Germany won 1-0, but they gave up 5 goals. So West Germany wins 5-4. That's a baseball score or a high hockey score, not a soccer score. Let's go with 70 Italy against 90 Argentina, because they're close. Blue and light blue. I think you can make the differential. First half is no score, so we're going to autoplay the second half for you. 70 Italy trying to knock out the 90 Argentines. Churchill out for Nestor Lorenzo. Trny out for Giuliano. 3 defenders and worst defenders. So Lorenzo out for Monson. They want a defender. That's his last change. Domahini. Domahini takes a shot. Go! 2-0 from Masola. Well, Italy looks good now. Minutes of out of time. Well, Argentina's running out of time. And that's it. The 1970 Italians beat the younger Argentines 1-0 in this game and win on aggregate 2-0. Domahini was the only goal scorer. Argentina had a problem. Algeria got rouge. It's a red carded. Right. West Germany, the 82 squad leads to 38. French 2-1. We'll just see white versus red. Or white versus blue, sorry. First half. 82 West Germany up 1-0. Final 10 minutes. 1-1. So France is trying to make a play out of it. We should see it. French have to score quickly. Kick for Schumacher. Germans win 3-2 on aggregate. Thank goodness for that goal by Klaus Fischer that helped them out. Nicolas scored in the 79th minute for the French, but it's over. The 82 Germans win. Big win for the Germans. We got two more games going. 54 Hungary against 86 West Germany. End of the first half saw Hungary up 1-0. They scored 10 minutes. Wow, the Magic Magyars came to play. 3-0. That's end of this match. The Hungarians won 3-0. Kocic with 2. Russians with 2, Puskas with 1. So those guys knew what to do. Yes. But yeah, Hungary knew what to do. And they won 3-0. 94 Italy and 74 Holland. Yeah, it's surprised that Italy's holding them 2-2 and hosting. First half. So the Dutch scored 2 goals. Total football looking pretty good. Final 10 minutes. 5-3. What is that with you? There you go. So it looks like the 74 Dutch are going to move on to the next round. Minutes at a time. Looks like Total Football will win this thing. Dutch Total Football wins 3-1. They'll move on. Neeskens, Lorep, and Krual all scoring for those pesky Dutch, with Baggio with a penalty, which he made this time. So yeah, they're gonna get rid of Massar and put Kasuriki in. But yeah, the Dutch win 3-1. So Total Football wins today. And we'll move on to the Sweet 16. Just gotta make sure that I get all these teams down that went on, that won the first stage. Because the 6 teams that won the preliminary round cannot face, will not face each other. They have to face 6 teams that got byes. Okay, so let's see the draw. First team drawn are the 1954 Magyars. So they would face, who's the 2006 French. Can't happen. So the 2006 French will have to switch. It's 74 Holland, who had to go to the preliminaries. They'll face the 78 Dutch. Oh wow, so yeah, so the 74 Dutch face the 78 Dutch. So that's the way they had it. They had the two Dutch runner-up teams in the 70s face each other. So that's going to be a conundrum. Who's going to play and who's not going to play? But we'll figure it out. 2010 Holland, who survived and didn't have to play in the preliminaries. They looked pretty good. They took down Uruguay in the semifinals, but then lost to Spain late. And I think Nigel de Jong's kung fu kick being unpunished was huge. And they would face the 1970 Italians. Well, actually, they will face the 70 Italians, because the 70 Italians actually did go to the preliminaries. So yeah, 70 Italy against 2010 Holland. 1958 Sweden, the team that got bit by Pele's performance in the final and trying to win it in front of their home crowd. They'll face 82 West Germany, who had to claw their way through the preliminary. So yeah, so that matchup has to happen. 2002 Germany, the team that lost to Brazil in the final, and Ronaldo's revenge. Oliver Kahn playing like the goalie of the tournament, but then in the final he shit the bed. Would face 1930 Argentina, but because we have 54 Hungary, France, we are going to switch up. No, yes we are. So it'll be a switch up. So 54 Hungary and 06 France will have that thing. All right. So 54 Hungary will face the 1930 Argentines, who was runner-up in the first ever tournament. The 06 French will now have to be drawn to face the 02 Germans, because they made it to the preliminary round. They didn't. So Germany and France will meet each other. 98 Brazil, who lost the final to France in France, and Ronaldo's epileptic fit, and he still played, which should not have happened. They face the 1934 Czechs. There's only one preliminary team left, and that's the 66 Germans. So yeah, there's going to be two matchups of teams that got first round byes. So 98 Brazil will take on 34 Czech Republic, that was the runner-up to Italy. There's Germany, West Germany 1966. They'll face the 2014 Argentines, led by Messi and co, that lost to a German team, the 2014 Germans, in the final. They had a goal ruled out for offside, and then they didn't score. And the last two teams were 2022 France and 2018 Croatia. Wow. The draw makers got those two teams. France beat Croatia for the 2018 title, which is funny that those two teams have to face each other. But the 2022 squad that lost to Argentina in the greatest World Cup final of all time now have to face the 2018 Croats, who surprised a lot of people by making the final. Of course, taking out England, pissing me off. But so those are your 8 last 16 matches. So it's going to be huge. And we have the Battle of Holland that people are going to probably be like, wow, but that's the way the draw works. Anyway, I've jumped out, but I do.